Farah Khushi, and I'm the chair and co-founder of Scottish Circle. I feel very privileged and humble for being asked to speak to a group of such powerful and empowered audience like yourself tonight. I'm far from a public speaker, but like every woman, I do have some stories, some of which I intend to share with you all tonight. I was born in Pakistan and moved to Glasgow at the age of 19. I had a privileged and somewhat sheltered upbringing. But growing up in a country like Pakistan, no matter how sheltered an upbringing you may have, you're still exposed to harsh realities of the world. You're aware of the injustices around you, but sometimes, when everything is so stark in your face, you get a better understanding of the situation after having a chance to look at it from a distance. At least that is what happened to me. And in many ways, I feel, although I was born in Pakistan, I grew up in the UK. It was in the mid-80s when I first saw the poster from the Zero Tolerance campaign to end violence against women. My first reaction was one of the shock. I didn't realize that it was a global phenomenon. I thought violence against women was something that happened in developing countries. I was wrong. My second thought after seeing that poster was, would this kind of openness ever happen in Pakistan? Would women be okay, or society be open enough to speak about violence against women and have big posters put aside for this purpose? As my kids were growing up, I decided to go back to university. I completed my MA in Social Sciences at Glasgow Uni, after which I became involved with several charities in Scotland. It was in 2011 my friend and co-founder of Scottish Circle, Poonam Gupta, invited me to attend the Circle event with Annie Lennox in London. I loved the ethos of the Circle, empowerment of women through women. When Poonam and I were asked by Oxfam if we would like to start something similar north of the border, we didn't even hesitate for a minute. Before we knew it, we were both sitting around a kitchen table inviting women to come on board. We were astounded by the huge amount of support we got, and hence Scottish Circle was found. So what is Scottish Circle? We are a group of women living in Scotland working towards empowerment of women at home and abroad. We are a fairly young organisation, at just about 2 years old, but like they say, age is just a number. In these 2 years, we have raised over £120,000 for a variety of women-related campaigns. These include various Oxfam projects, including the We Can project in Pakistan to end violence against women, the Cambodia Appeal to Empower Women to Start Small Businesses, the Rwanda Appeal, and Tea in the Pot initiative in Govan, an area in Glasgow which has suffered much from the deindustrialization, leaving most of its community jobless and in desperate conditions. So we are working home and abroad. In addition to this, we have also raised funds for campaigns which are out with Oxfam. Some of them have been the ones running in Pakistan, like women victims of acid attack. And also, we have helped garner support for education awareness and empowerment of girls in Kenya to end the destructive cultural practices like female genital mutilation. These are issues which are not easy to speak about, but these are very real issues. We have had a variety of events to help us fundraise for holding upcycled fashion shows in which clothes from Oxfam shops were given a new lease of life by Pakistani designers, to art shows, to award shows, award lunches, and recently we even held, believe it or not, a club night. I know I'm too old for a club night, but we did it. And it was quite successful. And we had some of the MOBA stars, artists who attended, and some of the really famous footballers, so that was success. But our most memorable event so far has been the We Can Pakistan fundraiser with Annie Lennox, at which she performed to an intimate audience of 250, just few people more than what we have here tonight, in a converted warehouse in Glasgow. As a prelude to the We Can event, I visited the campaign areas in Pakistan to see how and if this idea of changing society from grassroots levels works. If I'm being entirely honest, I had my doubts. I could not understand how the Pakistani patriarchs let a bunch of women tell them how to treat their citizens. I have always been of the thought that to make any effective change in a society, one needs to bring about changes in legislation. But it was not until I met some of these women from the rural areas of South Punjab that I realized that no matter how many laws are in place, unless a woman has a voice and a platform to raise her concerns, laws will not do much use for them. We needed to educate these women that violence against women is not and will not be acceptable. Oxfam's We Can project is unique in that way. Instead of making men the enemy, it invites them to join the campaign to end the draconian cultural practices against women and ask them to become the catalyst for change. Men, women, and children are all part of this campaign, which runs in villages, in small towns, in schools, and in colleges. We can change a society by giving people a glimpse of what life without violence could be. It is the educational component of this campaign which is so vital. It is the fight to educate society as a whole, that gender bias and inequality is not and should not be acceptable. In the words of Annie Lennox, it is not about privileged treatment of women. It is about treating women fairly. During my visits, I have met lots of extremely inspirational and brave women. Women living in beyond belief poverty. Women living in households which run on less than 50 pence a day. One of the stories which touched me was that of a woman named Saraya. Saraya told me how her life changed after she joined the campaign. She told me that one of her friends was sold by her husband for 50,000 rupees to pay off his gambling debt. Now 50,000 rupees is less than 400 pounds. Saraya called a meeting of all the women in the village and they formed a committee, as always women do, like we're doing tonight, to save their friend. They went to meet that man who had brought their friend and convinced him not to sell her on, and to give them a chance to buy her back from him. Saraya and her friends went door to door, village to village, selling their non-existing belongings, begging and stealing and borrowing, and raised enough funds in 3 months to get their friend back. There were many other stories like this which touched my heart and which really made me cry even. Not because of the plight of these women, but because of their strength and solidarity. I would like to end by saying it is heartening to see the circle, an idea conceived by Annie Lennox, is becoming a global phenomenon. And with the launch of Asian Circle, I have no doubt in my mind the phenomenon is going to grow bigger and stronger and stronger. I congratulate the Asian Circle for their initiative in taking Circle another step forward. Well done, women, ladies. I will part with the words by Margaret Mead. No doubt a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.